Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's season 2, episode 8, entitled Oops, Marie Did It Again. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around. I keep all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. Akeisha is a bit skeptical as Tisha and Marie have invited her out to lunch, although she can understand the ladies felt some type of way because Tambra told them things that she said that just wasn't true. Akeisha wants to move on and not talk about the matter any further. They all agree, and Tisha and Marie even reintroduce themselves to Akeisha. Marie updates that her mother has unfortunately relapsed and she's no longer staying with her. She doesn't know where her mother is, and now she's getting worried. She has to stay focused as her next project is opening up 5 methadone clinics throughout Mississippi. She will be the first Black woman to do so. There are only 3 providers, so she is literally making history. Also, while at the fashion show, Tisha talked to the mom to decide to get to the bottom of the Tisha situation. Eventually, when everyone was around, Tambra sent over her security, and no one understood why. They were having a cordial conversation. Despite it all, Tisha has not talked to Tisha since the fashion show, so there's no word if anything has been developed. Damon and Tambra have dinner, and Damon was very upset at Tisha for prying into their business. Tambra also thought that it was pointless to talk about Tisha at the fashion show. She believes Damon and can't believe Tisha is bringing up her life when she's already dealing with issues of her own. Tambra even suggests that Tisha is desperate and she's a jealous person, maybe even on a fatal attraction level. Damon even asked Tambra to move in, but Tambra wants a ring first and doesn't like how he's doing things backwards. Following the doctor's orders, we get updated as she speaks to production that they have been more intimate than ever. Damon then says that sometimes family comes before marriage and you can't have everything when you want it. As a matter of fact, he's not asking anymore. He tells her that she is moving in, and that's the end of the story. Xain's grandmother, Glenda, stops by to see Marie and Jerez. She reports that the police have no leads for Raven's murder. Each day for Glenda is a struggle as she misses her daughter very much. Jerez says that he has decided to take online classes in order to be there more physically with his son. When there are classes that are only offered on campus, he will return to campus. They are connected for the rest of their lives, and they must be strong for the boy. And at the end of the conversation, they lead with prayer by Jerez. Dee gears up with her baby's father, Xain, for their drive-through baby shower. It's a fun way for guests to bring their gifts, give their warm wishes, and keep it moving. All of JJ's daughters arrive to show their love and support for Dee. They want to place any differences to the side and help Dee in any way they can. They even assist with passing out thank you gifts to each attendant as they arrive. Latrice even pops up to spill the tea. She can't have a drink with Xoxo because she hasn't had her cycle in 2 months. She's not sure if it's stress or if she's pregnant. She can't handle the thought. Sophia wants her to relax and just try not to think of anything bad and just enjoy life. JJ pulls up and surprises Dee with an SUV. It's greatly needed as she needs more space. JJ and Sophia encourage Latrice to hold JJ's niece, and Latrice is very nervous. She says to production that holding the baby was nice, but I can't imagine doing this for 24 hours. Maybe 20 minutes, but not a whole day. I do not have baby fever, and I'm over it. Back at home, Latrice tells Cliff that she's had a long day and is stressed more than ever. He tells her that worrying never helps. Worrying only makes you sick, and now you have more problems. Latrice and Cliff say to production that I don't think my husband understands that me growing up, it was 10 times harder than how he grew up. He was given land and able to make a legacy. His family is wealthy. For him to say don't worry makes him not human. Cliff even says that she's a good wife, but if she works on some personal issues, she will be a great wife. She places too much emphasis on making money and not enjoying life. Latrice tells Cliff that it's close to 3 months and she hasn't had her cycle, and maybe she's pregnant. Now she's afraid that she will carry the same traumas of her childhood to a potential child. She even considers that if she's pregnant, to have an abortion or to give the baby up for adoption. Cliff lets her know that if she does such a thing, he'll be giving her up for an adoption. Having the baby will give them more time and give her a break from work, and she can finally relax, and he will be a great father. It's clear that one conversation won't be enough for them to see eye to eye on this matter. Marie and Essie can't wait to celebrate the developments of their methadone clinics. It's literally history, and they're the first Black women to do so in the state of Mississippi. Latrice says to production that her and Marie have come a long way, and she's happy that she got an invite. She's also happy that Marie got over any insecurities she may have had in the past. Aikisha says to production that she's happy that she was invited to Marie's event this time. Tambra will be in attendance as well, and she will keep it cool, but she's still keeping her eyes on Tambra. Marie makes a toast to Hamilton Davis, womanhood and sisterhood. As the night progresses, Latrice calls out how Tambra called out security on the ladies at the fashion show. But Tambra says that that's not true. The radio station wants to make sure that she's safe. Plus, it was the end of the night. Latrice says to production that is complete BS. You sought out your security because you didn't want anyone to call out the truth about Damon. Marie and everyone else slowly joins the circle of conversation, but Marie keeps it positive and says that she salutes these wonderful women. Tisha even says to production that I'm going to elevate and go above the BS because I support these women as my friends. They all agree that the last ladies' dinner didn't go well, but they all are moving forward to make sure things get better. The ladies learn that Aikisha is throwing a stakeholders luncheon event at the Faulkner. Aikisha explains that this event is a way to introduce herself to people she doesn't know and reintroduce herself to others who know her in Jackson. Let everybody know that she's returned, and also give information about her husband's bar that will develop on Ferris Street and other developmental plans on Ferris Street. Tisha says to production, wow, okay, I got you. It's nice to know that I wasn't an inspiration behind your idea. I'm not surprised that Aikisha didn't tell me I wasn't a part of her vision of Ferris Street, but I will place myself to the side in order to support her. The big idea is Ferris Street. Aikisha tells everyone that they're all invited. Later, Glenda arrives and she's introduced to the rest of the ladies by Marie. The ladies let her know that they're there for her and can't imagine losing a daughter. Latrice says to production that she's lost several family members and can't imagine losing a child. I'm sure that follows her just as much as I carry my grief every day. Latrice says to everyone that the ladies are powerful, Black, strong women, and no one knows that they have a gift to persevere. As she's speaking, Taisha arrives, and it's written all over Tambra's face. She's not pleased that she's there. Marie announces to everyone that Taisha has done event planning and decor for her business for years. They're also friends. A few of the ladies even announce, yeah, she did my wedding or she helped with several of my events. Tambra, although, can't stomach to be around any longer and begins to leave the room. Tambra says to production that she doesn't want to have any conversation about Damon or give it energy. She even feels that Taisha may be stalking her. Taisha tries to get Tambra to stay and move forward, but Tambra demands that her mic be removed and calls Taisha desperate and crazy. And that is the end of the episode. And now it is time for your favorite part of the video. That's right, my review. So in this episode, talk about somebody who stands by terrible decisions, right? To put a face to a name. I'm really hoping, now I said this in the last episode, I really hope that Tambra isn't sticking with Damon because she stuck with him for so long. And if she lets him go, she'll look at all the time that she wasted because of the desperation to have a baby with somebody she knows. I hope that's not the case. I hope she's not standing by a terrible decision and a terrible person to be with in a relationship. It's all this domino effect. When you think about bringing somebody into the world, it's like if it's rocky from the beginning, why would you add on to the turmoil by having a child with somebody that you don't really have a good relationship with, a relationship that's possibly tarnished. I did listen to an interview while I was in Dallas, Texas, and it was a radio station that was interviewing Tambra, and the radio host was just like, hey, I really want to know, was Damon involved with Taisha? And Tambra's response was, if he messed with her, it wasn't while we were together, and plus there were several times when we weren't together, we were, on and off. And I'm like, oh really? Oh, okay, hopefully we'll go more into that during the season. For this show, A lot of people are dealing with the tough time of letting go. It was good. It was refreshing to see Dee and her family and her stepsisters move forward in this time of celebration of the baby, and everybody to just show that they're being collective and trying to move forward. We're looking at Sophia and Dee develop their mother-daughter relationship. JJ showing his support, bringing up the SUV and saying, hey, we're here to help and all this good stuff. Hopefully they can let a lot of stuff go. When it comes to letting go, I hope Latrice can do the same thing. It seems like fear, right? Fear in having a child, and she mentions over and over again, I've had a lot of hurt. I had family members die. Men in my life have left, my father, and all of this stuff, which is a legitimate understanding. Now, many of you will say she's in a marriage. It's something that you compromise on. You compromise about buying a TV. You compromise about buying shoes. You compromise about different certain decorations in the house. You compromise about where you live. When it comes to a child, you don't want to feel, no one should feel as if they're forced into parenthood, right? Because think about it. If Latrice is in a situation mentally where she's just like, I don't want the baby, then she has a baby, do you think that would be a good environment for the child? You would constantly have bitterness that would come from Latrice. She might not even show the child the right type of affection. You have to think about that bitterness, that anger. The baby will feel all of that, right? So you have to have both people that are team, let's have a baby, not let me do this because my husband wants to. And that's the same either way around, right? Whether the woman wants the child or whether the man wants the child, okay? And the other one doesn't. You have to consider emotions, because emotions and how you treat somebody and how that just has this ripple effect onto the next. There's a lot of healing that Latrice has to do, and hopefully she'll start that first step in just letting a lot of stuff go. A lot of the stuff that she's been through was during childhood and adolescence, which she had no control over. A lot of the things that are affecting her, she had no power over whatsoever. She had no power over what her father did, her mother's marriage. She had no power over the situations with her brothers. She had no power over that. So now that she's married, she has those emotional traumas that are just on her back. And if she can let that go, whether they have a child or not, it will allow her not to live in fear of the what ifs, to consider having a child in the future if it's something that she wants. Having a baby just because Cliff wants one would just be a terrible decision. It was good to kind of get off of Tisha and Glenn's plot, and we looking more into the other ladies and looking more into Aikisha. Now, was it petty that Aikisha said she's having a luncheon, and it's going to be at a better venue, and it's going to be so-called better people, and she's talking about what she's going to do at Ferris Street? It's kind of like the blueprint of what Tisha was trying to do. It's obvious that she said, oh, she didn't do good with this, well, let me do the remix on it and do it better, okay? She didn't say a breakfast. She didn't say a dinner. She didn't say an event. She said a luncheon, which is copy and paste of an idea. Now, can anybody have a luncheon? Of course. Just because one person have a luncheon don't mean that you can have a luncheon. But it's very coincidental that she just so happened to have a luncheon, and it's about Ferris Street. Very interesting. And of course, we know Tisha felt some type of way. She's like, I'm going to support her. This is cool. But the overall goal here is Ferris Street, which is very big of her. Very, very big of her. And they've all agreed to move on, and that's what she's doing. Not too much to say about this one. We kind of have still some pending plots from the previous episodes, and hopefully they will wrap that up, getting closer towards the end of the season. I hope they don't stretch it out. We're already at episode 8, so hopefully they won't go past 12 episodes. That's including the reunion, because to take this and stretch it out would be just a waste. We don't need to. We already know what's going on. There's no need to just stretch it out for no reason. Let me know what you think. Like this video. Also, write your comments down below. If you're too shy, make sure that you DM me on Instagram and share your thoughts. I'd be happy to speak with you. And also, you guys, remember to click that notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Stay tuned for more. We have Ready to Love Miami, the final FX original series Atlanta. Check that out. House of the Dragon, and so much more. In the meantime, in between time, remember to take care of yourself and each other. Stay tuned for episode 9. Bye.